Hello, everyone, and good morning. Today is Tuesday, June 17th, 2025, at 10:32. And today we have our day one outlook today. We have quite a busy day today. We have a moderate risk for areas in Kansas and north central Oklahoma. We have an enhanced risk that is for parts of Colorado, Oklahoma, a teeny bit of Texas, most of Kansas, and parts of western Missouri. We do have a slight risk extending from Wyoming through Nebraska, going into Colorado, just a teeny tiny little bit of New Mexico. We have just a little bit of Oklahoma, parts of Texas, going into a little bit of northwestern Arkansas, going into Missouri, back into Nebraska and up into Iowa. And just the extreme western part of Illinois does have a slight. We have a marginal risk that encompasses parts of Wyoming, parts of Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota. We have a separate marginal over here that is for parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, a little bit of South Carolina, North Carolina, Kentucky, West Virginia, Virginia, Ohio, Maryland, D.C., and Pennsylvania. I happen to be under a marginal. So, today, we have Wichita, Hutchinson, Garden City, Dodge City, and Liberal under the moderate. Overland Park, Topeka, Olathe, Lawrence, and Shawnee having a enhanced. Denver, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, Tulsa, and Colorado Springs having a slight. And Baltimore, Milwaukee, Washington, D.C., Nashville, and Atlanta having a marginal. So let's go ahead and deep dive and see what we've got for today. Today we have a 5% for parts of a teeny little bit of Texas, parts of Oklahoma, and mostly Texas having a 5%. And then we have Colorado, areas in New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas, parts of a teeny bit of northwestern Arkansas, going into Missouri, back into, looks like a little bit of Nebraska, back into Kansas. They all have a 2% tornado threat for today. We also have a 2% for parts of Virginia and D.C. and Maryland. So, we do have Wichita, Topeka, Olathe, Lawrence, and Enid under the 5%. And Washington, D.C., Kansas City, Tulsa, Colorado Springs, and Aurora having a 2%. So, for the 5%, we could see a brief EF1 tornado possible today. And for the 2%, we could see a brief EF0 tornado today. So, please be mindful wherever you may be. You might have a tornado threat today. Going into the wind risk for today, we've got a 45% hatched for areas in Kansas as well as a little bit of Oklahoma. Looks like a derecho might be possible here today. We have a 30% hatched extending from Colorado through Kansas going into Oklahoma. Just a little bit of Texas. We have a 15% for parts of Wyoming, Nebraska, Colorado, New Mexico, going into a little bit of Texas, Oklahoma, a little bit of Arkansas, Missouri, going into a little bit of Illinois, western Illinois, parts of Iowa and Nebraska, having a slight risk, 15%, And we have a 5% extending from Wyoming through Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. We got parts of Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, parts of just a teeny tiny bit of southern Minnesota, parts of Nebraska, and going into South Dakota having a 5%. We also have this 5% over here for parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, a little bit of South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, D.C., Maryland, and Pennsylvania having a 5% as well. So, we have Tulsa, Wichita, Topeka, Lawrence, and Edmond under the significant severe. Wichita, Hutchinson, Garden City, Dodge City, and Liberal under the 45% hatched. Overland Park, Topeka, Olathe, Lawrence, and Shawnee under the 30% hatched. Denver, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, Tulsa, and Colorado Springs under the 15%. And Baltimore, Baltimore, oh, there's the reset. First reset, at least. I did not do that. Baltimore, Milwaukee, Washington, D.C., Nashville, and Atlanta having a 5%. So for the 45% hatched area, we could see some destructive winds of 70 to 90 miles per hour possible today. So please be mindful. Those wind gusts could be extremely high today. For the 30%, we could see 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts, maybe even 85 mile per hour wind gusts possible. 15%, we could see 60 to 75 mile per hour wind gusts possible today. And 5%, we could see 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts today. So please be mindful. That could be possible depending on where you are. Going into the hail threat for today, we've got a 30% hatched for areas in Kansas as well as a little bit of Oklahoma. We have a 15% hatched for parts of Oklahoma, a little bit of Texas, for parts of Kansas and Colorado. We have a 15% normal for parts of Colorado, Wyoming, Nebraska, Kansas, going into Iowa, Missouri, and back into Kansas, and a little bit of Oklahoma having it. And then we have a 5% for parts of Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas, parts of Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, back through Iowa, a teeny bit of southern Minnesota, Nebraska, and South Dakota do have the 5%. So, we have Colorado Springs, Wichita, Pueblo, Enid, and Salina under the significant severe. Wichita, Hutchinson, Dodge City, Derby, and Newton under the 30% hatch. Denver, Kansas City, Colorado Springs, Aurora, and Des Moines under the 15%. And Milwaukee, Oklahoma City, Omaha, Tulsa, and St. Louis having a 5%. So for the 30% area, 30% hatched area, we could see 2 to 4 inch diameter hail possible today. So please be mindful that could be possible today. 15% hatched, we could see 1 to 3.5 inch diameter hail possible. 15% normal, we could see 1 to 3 inch diameter hail possible today. And for the 5%, we could see 1 to 2 inch diameter hail today. So wherever you may be, you may have a hail threat today. Going into the summary for today, it says, severe thunderstorms producing numerous and widespread damaging winds, scattered large hail, isolated 2+ inches in diameter are possible, and a few tornadoes are expected today across parts of the central and southern plains and lower to mid-Missouri Valley. The greatest threat for destructive wind gusts up to 100 miles per hour, they forecast, is across parts of the Kansas and northern Oklahoma. So there you have it. There is the potential for a derecho today. There's today's hail risk. There's today's wind risk. There's today's tornado risk. And there's today's day 1 outlook. So I do really hope that you stay weather aware and stay safe. Please do that. Make sure you have multiple ways of being warned, whether that would be your NOAA weather radio, your cell phone, your internet source, your television outlet, whatever it is you use to get alerts for. And please remain weather aware today. Even in the marginals, as we just never know what these marginals could do. Sometimes these storms could do crazy stuff in these marginals. But anyway, that's going to be it. I will be back later for the day 2 outlook. But anyway, in the meantime, stay weather aware and stay safe. And be aware that there could be a possible derecho today. In the meantime, have yourselves a great day and take care.